So the first thing I'll say is let's go through the Gucci key pouch. It's your standard 6-ring key pouch, which you can find at, you know, even Louis Vuitton does something similar. I've had this one for a super long time. I've had this probably for, I'm not sure, I want to say between 5 and 7 years. I can't remember, but it's all leather on the inside and outside. I can't tell if this is glazing or if it must be, or if it's just wrapped in leather. But if it's glazing, there's no melting of any glazing of any kind. It holds your standard 6 key rings. You can tell mine is a little bit dirty from the keys. And, you know, it's pretty compact. So this would easily fit into smaller handbags. The problem with this is an RFI sleeve for credit cards. But as you can see, this is where you could, I guess, theoretically, no, you can't. You can't really put in anything in there. This is a standard business card, will not fit in there. So you cannot put any cards in here. Nothing. See how that sticks out? But it is compact. It will fit into smaller handbags, even though it doesn't hold any cards or credit cards or driver's license or anything like that. It can, as you might already know, if you have a bunch of keys like I do and then have like a car fob in here, it will bulk. It may not even snap, depending on how big your fob is. I used to have one and just have it hanging down here, which didn't really help. And I didn't like the look of it. So that's just something to keep in mind. But I would say the wear and tear, because it's leather, is quite good. And so, you know, there's no complaints about how it's wearing, considering how long I've had it and how much it's been used and abused. So when you compare it to the Bottega Veneta card holder, it's much bigger in size. It's got a zip around, a feature, which the other one is a snap closure. You can see the size difference. It's quite a bit bigger in comparison. It's quite a bit bigger. So, but I will say, I mean, I love the color. It's this fuchsia pink color. It's got a much more interesting design. It's and it's just nicer in general. Obviously has the classic Bottega weaving. This one does hold cards. So this is also, because it's much bigger, also fits a lot more bulkier stuff. So I've got a couple of fobs in here. I've got a bunch of keys, different sizes, a whole mess of keys here with more fobs. And it will wrap around, as you saw. I mean, it's a little bit bulky, but it's definitely doable. And what's nice is that this feature, this pull, zipper pull, is curved. So it kind of just nicely sits around the curve and the edge of the corner. This one does hold cards, which is really nice. So I'll show you. This will hold a driver's license easily, or a credit card. So you could theoretically just take this and go out and, you know, without a bag if you didn't want to. That being said, it'll probably be difficult or a tight fit into mini bags, tiny bags. So it is, as I showed you, much bigger in size. But I wouldn't say it's necessarily more bulky, just because it is, I don't know, I guess it's pretty similar, but this can get quite bulky if you have a fob in there. I find this to be pretty streamlined, even though it is bigger. I think purely because you have this zipper feature. And again, you can see it will zip. but it will, it just needs a little bit of help. As far as wear and tear, it will, you know, the Bottega weaving, I think, I don't know if these will curl or lift or whatever. I've never had a Bottega weaved bag before, so I don't know how they typically wear, but I would imagine if this is getting abused, you know, you might see a little bit of curling. I've had this probably for 3 months now, and it's been totally fine. I don't baby it. I just throw it in my bag. I don't think about it. So I don't protect it in any way. So that being said, it is pretty durable, even with the constant wear. So I think the zip around feature is a much nicer feature. It's just much more secure, even though it's a little bit bigger. But I think the overall design is so much nicer, and the fact that you could hold a few cards in there is really helpful too. So I'll show you how it fits in some small bags that you might have. So first I'm going to show you how it fits in a Fendi Can-I bag, which is kind of, I think, you know, maybe a little bit bigger, definitely a little bit bigger and thicker than a Chanel mini square, but it is kind of a square size. So I'll just show you. It's got on the inside 2 compartments. As you can see, I've got a couple things in here, but I'm going to put in a long wallet, which is kind of typically what I would carry with me on a normal day. So I would carry that, and then I would carry this along with a little key pouch in there, and that's basically most of my necessities. It's my keys, my wallet, and a little pouch is basically all I need. Now, if I wanted to fit in like a lipstick or something, then I can do that and it's no problem. But this is how it fits. It sticks out the tiniest bit, again, but it totally closes up nicely without a struggle. So that's totally fine. And likewise, obviously, the Gucci is going to be a lot more room to fit that. So you can fit plenty more in there, in addition to what I already have in there. So that's kind of how it fits. You can kind of see the size difference relative to the bag. Whoops! Relative to the bag. So anyway, that's how it might fit in a Fendi Can-I bag, if that's something that you have. Or sometimes people have like a rectangular mini, a Chanel mini. So I'll just show you. I just have it stuck right now. But if we take that out, so this is kind of how it looks relative to the bag in size. I think I'd probably, instead of having it vertically, I'd have to hold it horizontally. But let's start with the easier one. Obviously, this is going to go in. Plenty of space. If you stood this up even. Let me just move the chains over. If you stood this up, could you close it? Yes, no problem. It's not a struggle. But then if you wanted to put in the Bottega, it fits, and there is space to put maybe another little pouch, a thin wallet, card holder, that sort of thing, a few lipsticks, hand sanitizer, that would be fine. So it does fit. Obviously it takes up more space, but it totally fits. This way, no, that's not gonna work. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful.